Hello, I'm Thomas Baillod, the newly appointed reporter for Deployant. I'm very happy to be here in La Chaux-de-Fonds, sitting next to the very known yet famous Olivier Mory, who makes amazing movements for the blogosphere. I'm very happy to be interviewing him. So Olivier, what about this tourbillon? Where did it started? Tell us a bit more.
It started, I would say, 30 years ago, when I decided to be a watchmaker, and I was 12 years old. So
that's called a passion.
Yeah, exactly. It was the transition between being a child and playing Lego, and then switching to watchmaking, which is a kind of Lego for adults.
Lego. Exactly.
And for the tourbillon adventure, it really started in 2016, when I decided to open my own business and to build my first movement.
But you've been building movement before, but not for yourself.
Exactly. For almost 16 years before, I've been hired by different companies, always in the movement development. But it was, on one hand, high-hand movements, small batches, very long time to assemble, and logically high prices. And on the other hand, mass production movements, a lot of industrialization, less time for decoration, less time for assembly, high reliability, and low price.
So that gave us a little hint on how you can make very high-end movement tourbillon today at a very interesting or never seen price before in the market. So you make high-end on a very large scale.
Exactly. And the key to the success of this is to start thinking from the first sketch you start to draw. You have to think, how would I assemble 1,000 of these movements in a month? I don't say we do this now. We are not yet at 1,000 per month, but we are going to this direction for maybe the next 2 years. But if you decide from the beginning, I have to design a movement that we can assemble 1,000 a month. So you have no choice. You have to skip all the tricky things. It has to be simple to assemble, simple to service, not a lot of different components. You try to get the same screw everywhere, for example.
Instead of 7 to 8 type of screws, you have one.
Exactly. As few as possible.
So to the deploying people that are hearing us, most would say yes, but at that level, if you produce so many tourbillons, you have produced thousands already, it should be a lower quality.
No. In fact, it's the more you produce, the best quality you have. Tomorrow, if you want to equip your supercar with tires, you will probably not look for someone which is producing 4 tires a year by hand in his workshop, by carving the rubber on hand. You will buy Michelin ones because they produce billions of tires each year, and they have a quality level you cannot expect from anyone else. If you want to buy brakes for your Ferrari, you don't want Ferrari brakes. You want Brembo ones because they are the best in this domain. And it's the same for us. When we design screws, we first design a screw which appears to be the ideal one for us. And then we go to people who are experts in screw making. Guys who produce like Kif in Le Sentier. I will not hide my subcontractors. We work with Kif in Le Sentier. They produce screws for AP, Patek Philippe. They have the most perfect quality level you can look in the watchmaking industry. And then we go to Kif. We see what they are in the catalog, which reference are close to our ideal screw. Sometimes we have a perfect match, sometimes not, but we are not far away. We can just change a little bit the diameter, and then it fits exactly the same screw that you have.
And because you have one screw, then of course the quantity makes it more affordable to do.
So you go to someone which is able to produce 20 million screws a year, and you go to buy 10,000. it's not a problem for them. They can deal with it easily, and they have always the same quality. You will have screws, flat head, black polish, with angle on the slot, with angle on the outside.
The best quality you may expect from the market. So does it mean that most of the parts, components of your tourbillon are in fact subcontracted to people specialized in doing one thing but doing it right?
Yeah, this is the way we proceed. That's what
we call les établisseurs. So that has been watchmaking since centuries.
Yeah, that's fun because it's almost the same recipe that the watchmaking industry was doing 200 years ago, and people forgot it. And by trying making your own screws, we have lathe here. We have the machinery to produce prototypes. This is cool because we can do prototypes fast.
Yeah,
but it's only for
never
prototyping.
The same quality as
no. I'm okay to spend 1 hour to make a screw for a prototype because we need the screw tomorrow.
Yeah,
this is okay. But 1 hour a screw, that means the screw is going to cost you 100 francs, 100 Swiss francs, which is absolutely stupid if you can buy something better. And
with the
cheaper.
Professional, the specialist, or the screw.
Yeah. With someone which is producing 10,000 screws each day.
And you were, I remember mentioning, for after-sales service or even for the quality control, if you produce very little, then if you have some issues, it's okay. But if you produce 1 million, you cannot have a 5 or 10%.
And you see the problems very fast. If you're producing 100 movements a year and you have 8% of defect movements, it can be less than 1 movement per month. So you will not have red lights everywhere, and you will say, okay, it's fine, the product is
Then you
good.
rectify even that movement by hand.
Yeah, and you can spend 2 hours to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But when you produce 200 movements a month, then that means already 60 movements each month. And if it's 2 hours of modification, that leads to something like 32 hours. It's one watchmaker for almost a week.
Yeah.
You have to pay it. You have to pay this job,
and that's
twice,
of course. Yeah.
So you cannot live with a high percentage of bad quality if you produce a lot. And that's why if you look in other industries like automotive one, they don't even deal with 1%. They are looking for parts per million. And they aim to have 1 or 2 defect parts on 1 million produced. We're not at that step. But we're looking to aim something around
close to perfection, but not.
Yeah, it's impossible. The most important thing is some people in the industry, some brands are already thinking like this. It's not the worst thing if you have 3% of parts not working correctly, as long as you don't deliver them to customers. If you have time enough, you can have 3% of things that doesn't work. You have your own quality control. You see them, you replace them by good ones.
So you give 100%,
and what you
quality
deliver
yes.
is always cool. And then it's another question what you are going to of the defect parts on your own. You can maybe reprocess them or make a modification or something. But it's not delivered to final customer.
Always the best quality. It has been funny. We have been here with the people of Deployant, seeing as well subcontractors from the shadow that you never usually meet. And it's very funny. I'm a child from La Chaux-de-Fonds. I was born here. And ultimately, most of the subcontractors work for several brands. You will buy parts from them. And then those movements that you assemble are, again, distributed or sold to different brands. Then they will brand it, make it their movement because they have a different cut on on the movements or whatsoever that make their own movement, manufactured movement. But again, it's everything is brought together, and funnily, it's a 30,000 plus people here in La Chaux-de-Fonds, and most of the people eating in restaurants would meet other colleagues from other brands competing or whatsoever. But in the end, everybody's, let's say, friend, or let's say bumping into each other.
On a personal point of view, there is no competition. If you go outside, you can have a beer with someone working in many other brands, and there is no competition. We're just colleagues. We have the same passion. Competition, this is something between marketing departments, not between watchmakers. One day you can maybe change, and your opponent is your new boss. So there is no reason to think in terms of competition.
And eventually that's what makes Swiss Made strong, is that one person working for a brand would switch to another brand maybe in 1 year, and vice versa. So the knowledge somehow moves from one brand to the other, so that everybody grows at the same time.
Yeah, it's like
you have been working for different brands or group.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. If anyone goes to my LinkedIn page, it's written where I was. So I started by Audemars Piguet, Renaud et Papy. That was a very cool experience to work on very high-end products. This is the perfect place if you want to know how to make perfect polishing and finishings and pay attention to details. And then I was for 7 years R&D manager by Sellita. So it's on the opposite side of the watchmaking line. It's not producing 30 movements at 200,000 Swiss francs. It's producing 200,000 movements at 30 Swiss francs.
Yeah.
Roughly.
And by the way, Sellita is a bit 100 meters away.
Yeah, nothing is far away from here.
Yeah.
In La Chaux-de-Fonds, you have everything to work with people you know.
And many people, because we use your tourbillon, at Baillod, we have been many times reproached that it's not possible to make so much watchmaking or so beautiful watches at that price. And so if we could demonstrate or show that we have only subcontractors doing Swiss made, some people start to attack you, that in your tourbillon you have as well parts from Asia or from other things. Of course, we respect very much Asia, but you have been showing us that in your tourbillon, everything is 1 hour away of drive from your office.
Yeah, the only exception is one main plate producer, which is in Geneva, and it's absolutely impossible to be in Geneva in 1 hour. Okay, no matter the speed on the highway.
There is some.
But yes, it was from the beginning, from the foundation of BCP Tourbillon, and that was the goal, and we never changed that. 100 of our parts are made.
100% is low.
Yeah, everything. From the stones, Crelier in Bure. This is the northern supplier we have, and the southern one is in Geneva, in Mérin. They're producing main plates and bridges. Some of them. For main plates, we have 2 different suppliers. Right. The other one is in Valorbe. And for example, I tried to engineer my powertrain, so the gears, transmitting the torque from the barrel to the tourbillon. All the gears are designed with the same shape for the arms, with the same kind of teeth, and they can be cut with the same tool, which is pretty cool if you give all your wheels to the same supplier. So he has one tool and he can produce all your wheels. This is the way we work. I'm not very interested to have the cheapest subcontractor for each part. I choose one, I give him the tools, and he's going to produce all my wheels. And this way, it's not necessary to have a lot of suppliers. I think we have 7 suppliers for the whole movement. All the screws are coming from Kif. They also deliver the shock absorber, and the escapement is coming from Atokalpa. Everything, balance wheel,
very known and
anchor, yes. Escapement wheel, they produce the whole thing, and they guarantee the function of this. So it's like ordering your brakes by Brembo. You have a state-of-the-art, perfect condition, and they deliver the whole thing. So all of these things are mastered here in Switzerland. They are developed here.
Thank you. Hope you learned a little bit more to the Deployant passionate people.